Colby Covington in a recent interview said that Kamaru Usman is pretending to be Nigerian. He also said that Kamaru Usman has fled the country because he doesn't want to fight him. Speaking to Submission Radio, he went on to say, "You know, I make of those comments. Marty Usman, the CEO of EPO, he's desperate. He is so desperate that he fled the country. He fled the country to somewhere off the grid so he could turn his phone on aeroplane mode and not have to answer calls from Hunter Campbell and Dana White, because he knows he needs to sign the contract against me. The guy's never been to Africa. He was born in Dallas, Texas. He went to college in Nebraska, so he's trying to save face and act like he's Nigerian. Go to Africa and act like he's an African and this and that. But he is desperate. He is running from me. He's hiding. And he's not answering calls from the UFC to get this contract signed between me and him." UFC middleweight fighter Sean Strickland recently got into a fight in the gym with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Orlando Sanchez.
Oh, mother! Why, bro? Why?
Whoa.
Why? Get away from me.
Whoa, bro.
Get away. Bro, what the man? Why, dude?
What happened? What?
Yeah,
you alright?
You sitting that, bro. You know what you did.
What happened? What happened, Mo?
You know what you did.
Did what? What you do? What I do?
You know what you did.
What I do?
Did you see that shit?
Did
you see that? No, you were dude.
What happened?
Standing arm bar.
Like this. What he did?
No, dude, it was a move, dude.
Dude, how the is it? It's grappling. It's
Watch the video. Watch
like
the
this.
Video.
Boom. Like that. How is it a that's a submission.
Come on, let's go.
That's a submission, bro.
Let's go.
Go without it.
No,
don't do that.
Bro, let's go. I got a fight coming up, bro, and you're trying to do hyper-stimulating arm.
I'm not hurting you. That was a quick submission. Bro, why did you punch me?
That wasn't.
Why did you punch me? You did it.
Okay, we're all good. My bad.
We're all good. Come on, bro.
We're all good. Hey, relax, man.
He did submissions like that.
Let's be honest, bro. You know if someone does this to you and you try to yank that, that's dirty, bro. We all know it's dirty.
Bro, you went for the underhook.
I know, I got this.
Okay, let's go. You guys got 3 minutes. We're calling it 3 minutes.
I got it.
In a recent interview with BT Sport, Marvin Vettori said they would destroy Paulo Costa if they ever fought. Paulo Costa recently reacted and posted this on his Twitter saying, "I could fight this moron if he showed to fight like that." Leon Edwards recently revealed that Nate Diaz gave him advice after their fight at UFC 263. He posted this on his Twitter saying, "Nate told me after the fight, don't let these tell you ain't name your price or they will name it for you, and I felt that." A 3-round welterweight bout between Michael Chiesa vs Vicente Luque has been targeted for UFC 265. Michael Chiesa is coming off a unanimous decision win over Neil Magny, and Vicente Luque is coming off a submission win over Tyron Woodley. A 3-round strawweight bout between Tisha Torres vs Angela Hill has been targeted for UFC 265. Tisha Torres is coming off a TKO win over Sam Hughes, and Angela Hill is coming off a unanimous decision win over Ashley Yoder. A 3-round bantamweight bout between Marlon Moraes vs Merab Dvalishvili has been targeted for UFC 266. Marlon Moraes is coming off a TKO loss to Rob Font, and Merab Dvalishvili is coming off a unanimous decision win over Cody Stamann. A 3-round flyweight bout between Askar Askarov vs Alex Perez has been targeted for UFC card on July 31st. Askar Askarov is coming off a unanimous decision win over Joseph Benavidez, and Alex Perez is coming off a submission loss to Davison Figueiredo. Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast gives his thoughts on Israel Adesanya's win over Marvin Vettori.
Yeah, well, because Vettori couldn't really get going. I don't think he landed anything particularly significant. I know when you look at the numbers, of course, he landed a lot of significant strikes. But when I say anything significant, I mean, he never hurt him per se. He was never visibly wobbled or concussed or even really seemed to feel any of the shots. So he didn't land anything particularly significant. Yeah, he got a few takedowns. He managed to take the bag. But every time Izzy was able to stay calm and cool and defend, there was a lot of the times, I'll tell you what Marvin did. Marvin did a good job of pressuring him, did a good job of putting him on the fence, which is where you want to put Izzy, right? Because he's got less room to maneuver, less room to back away, and also less room to sprawl. In fact, you can't sprawl against the fence. So what he was doing, he was firing a combination and shooting, get the arms around the butt, the bum, the ass, whatever you want to call it, and then from there you got to pick him up and put him down. I had you doing that little drill yourself last week. But what he was doing, he was hesitating. He was taking his time, and he was going, he would get position. And I got to say, he had a very, very good ability to do that. Marvin got his hands joined behind his ear almost every single time. But then he would wait, he would hesitate, and it was almost like he was waiting for the perfect moment. Now, of course, as the fight drags on and you're getting a little bit tired, it's hard to muster up that energy. It's like, okay, I'm in position, I'm going to take a second and then I'm going to explode. But all you're doing, you're just highlighting to Israel, I'm going to go, get ready, any second now, I'm going to explode, I'm going to go for it. And when you do go for it, he's sitting there waiting for it. So, It was a classic Israel Adesanya performance. I thought he looked great. I thought he looked very, very polished as always. Didn't really take any damage.
Woo. I'll drive, try a little bit. Ferrari. Woo. Oh, it's a little tight.
Right, and this is the distance. This is the last miss. Changes your position. Ready?
Story post.
Go ahead.
Reserve UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, and I present to you. This right here is sick. Yes. Might as well. Woo!
It's as good as it looks. What are these mega bees like? Oh, bro. Any good?
Dana White at the UFC 263 post-fight press conference gave his thoughts on the current situation with Paulo Costa.
Our relationship is fine. I mean, listen, he said some nutty and I straightened it out. That's how I look at it.
Do you have any idea what's next for him?
Do I have any idea what?
What's next for him?
Sounds like nothing. Sounds like he's going to sit out and hang out for a while, and I don't know what. You know, he said, you know, I want to be paid more because of what all these YouTube stars are making. Apparently, he didn't see his last fight.
48 hours. 48 hours, motherfucker. 48 hours it took me to get back to work. I'm gonna show you all how it's done. I'm gonna show it all how it's done. I'm coming for that belt, stronger than ever.
So a lot of times when you face rematches, you know, you're thinking, what does this guy know? Is he going to make adjustments? Is he going to be able to hold me down because he was able to take me down last time? Will he adjust to my stand-up? These are all questions in rematches. Israel Adesanya went out there and was harder to hit, still just as hard to find, made his own adjustments, attacking the lead leg of Vettori from southpaw, and also just getting up, escaping the takedown attempts. Awesome job. Championship win for Israel Adesanya, making the adjustments and showing why he's going to be champ for a long time. Moreno was able to hurt Figueiredo on the feet with his jab and with his left hook and mixing them up just like he did in the first fight. He was able to get takedowns and he was able to dominate better in the jiu-jitsu than he was in the first fight and really actually get the finish and the choke, which is incredible against the black belt who's seasoned as Figueiredo is. But what I really noticed is the confidence of Brandon Moreno before he went into that octagon was different. He knew he was champion before he got in there, and that brought him the win in the end.
Behind the captain's seat, one on the forward left side of the cabin, leaves the video monitor, and one on the forward end of the van. To operate, hold the safety pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle lever, and swing